perimeter project and how we haven't made any progress on it in 6 episodes or so. So, you know, several months. Yeah, that all changes today. Sort of. Because I finally have kid again to get more slime balls, and I also fixed up the raid farm after, you know, literally everything broke for no reason at all. And now on to what this video is actually about. You see, I don't have a house. I've been sleeping in the open air. And sure, I have my starter base, but that's just a tiny cabin that's been blown up by creepers one too many times. We really need an upgrade. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, the first thing that we need to do is decide where exactly we're going to build. And I actually have that figured out for once. So we will be building right over here in this open spot, you know, close to like our whole industrial district and everything, but not too close. And you know, we've got plenty of space and we're right on the shore and we can see the island where our starter base is from here. So, you know, it's a nice area. Now we have to figure out the block palette, which is something I have not done yet. However, after a brief stint in creative mode, I have it figured out. So it's wood, stone, and mud. Now this will be the problem because I do not have a wheat farm. So we're gonna have to make one of those. I did not mean to press that button. But other than that, this is all materials that we have or will be able to farm easily. Ignore the fact that we do not have an entrance planned. We shall figure that out later. But we're gonna go back over to, you know, the actual world. And now it is time to build up the wheat farm. You know, step 1, actually have all of the supplies you need. We need wheat, yada yada yada. So the first thing that we need is a bunch of seeds, which I do not have, so I'm gonna get enough seeds and figure out where we're gonna put this thing, and then I will be back. And I am, in fact, back with 9 stacks of seeds, which will hopefully be enough because the villager has 8 inventory slots, so hopefully we'll only need 64 or so seeds to fill up the little garden area, hopefully. Either way, whether or not we have enough seeds, which, you know, hopefully we will, we need to actually build up the farm. What a concept. I think I want to start expanding out this direction instead of that direction, just because we're planning on building over there, so it wouldn't really make much sense. I think I want to put the wheat farm over there, so I am going to work on that. Sir, you're missing your partner. So, what is going to happen is we are going to get the supplies we need to actually build up the farm, and I am also going to fix this whole shebagle, because I need more villagers. Obviously, there are villagers there, but, like, I need to be able to create more. You know what I mean. Oh, we have encountered another problem, because of course we have. So I went over to the gold farm to, you know, get gold to make powered rails so that, you know, the farm will work. And some of the turtle eggs are missing, so the farm isn't working. So I need to find turtles again. We love it here. Honestly, getting the turtle eggs was not that bad, but being overdramatic is fun. Anyways, we now have everything we need to build up the farm, which is exactly what we are going to do. Now, the farm is going to be 8 by 8. Also, yeah, I did add in, like, this little path thing and, like, the lanterns and stuff. I don't know, just I was bored. I was waiting for stuff to, like, smelt and generate and whatnot, so that's what happened. Now, I flattened out this area over here a little bit, which is where we are going to be putting the farm. So I'm gonna build it up, and then we will move on to the next step. And so we now have our wheat farm set up, which means now we are going to go lay out the design for the whatchamacallit house thing. Yeah. Woo. Before I did that though, I did have to terraform a little bit just to actually like have a better place to like build up the little outline thing. And I did also end up working on the wheat farm design a little bit, but it didn't change too much, so whatever. And so here is the outline. It's gonna be 2 floors like you saw when I was showing you the block palette, and then there's also gonna be this little jut out just to add a little bit more shape, I guess. Over here is where the entrance is going to be. We're probably gonna put like some pillars or something, and then on the roof I also want to put a chimney, in addition to the original design that I made. So that's that, and now we have to actually get stuff, because like, you know, we've made the wheat farm, but other than that, not much progress has been made on the whole supplies route. So I'm gonna run the tree farm, get let's see here. So actually here is like a stack and a half or something, and then this is like, this is 7, that's 7. So 14 stacks to start with, and we'll probably need more. Amazing. So I'm gonna work on getting that, and then we will fill in the outline we have, and then we'll work on getting stuff for like the details. And so I now have enough logs that when I turn them into planks, we should have enough to fill in the outline. I'm not gonna turn them yet though, just to like not clog up my inventory. And then I also fixed the villagers' beds because they weren't spawning in any iron golems, and that was a problem. So it is now time to place a crap ton of wood and fill in this shell. I did end up running out of spruce before I could finish everything, but looking through my storage system, I was able to find enough spruce that I only had to run the tree farm once more before we completely finished it up, and I had a bit of spruce left over, so that's fun. And I now present to you a large block of wood. So now that we have this all set up, I think the next step I want to do is set up the roof over here. And then after that, I think it's time that... Wait, right. Ignoring what I just said, we now need to figure out how to make that tree farm work with jungle wood, because I want to use jungle wood in the windows. So over to the testing world, I guess. Obviously, the first thing that we need to do to figure this out is grow a jungle tree. So if we do that, voila, and we go up here, frickin' drop down once this weirdness lets me. Okay, so that's the middle. Logs ended up here. That was not the middle. Alright, my life is a lie. No, this would be right. Wrong, stone fence, I guess. Alright. Okay, no logs there that time. So we go through, up. Oops. Oh wait, no. Worked. Okay, there were a couple logs it missed. Means this is probably one of those trees where you do actually want the double TNT. Oh, right, oh. Get some redstone, connect that there. Break there. And press the button. Ah, okay. Trying that again. Now we press the button. Alright, nice to know the timings on that were messed up, I guess. Well, it works with the one blast, it's just annoying. I can live with that. So, conclusion, this does in fact work with jungle trees. So, with that whole thing figured out, I ran the tree farm and I got 62 logs. So I now have some of the stuff we'll need. Probably won't be enough for like the whole house, but we're getting there. So I think I want to get started on decorating just that little outlet there. So I'll do that and then see where we're at supplies wise. And so we now have this section of the whole thing detailed, at least details that we had planned out have been put onto the thing. I don't know if like we're gonna change that or not or whatever. I did have to make it a little bit bigger because with how this is inset one, the space inside would have been too small to really do anything with. And then this is what we have left over materials wise, so we are going to need more slabs and stairs, and then I also realized that I completely forgot to make packed mud stairs for around the building where this red concrete is. So our villagers need to hurry up with the whole farming wheat thing. And so we now have enough mud brick stairs to at least get like a little dent in the whole line that we're gonna put. But that's not what we're gonna do because I want to figure out an entrance and where I want to put the entrance and all of those things. So if I put a garden over here, the entrance here, and a balcony over here, I think that could look pretty cool. Yeah. Alright. Got that figured out. Now we just gotta figure out what the entrance is going to look like, which we're gonna do in a creative world because I am far too lazy to get materials to do it here. And so this is the concept that I came up with. I'm not entirely sure if I'll stick with the block palette that I have going currently. I might place, actually, I think I'm gonna replace those with these and the slabs with stone brick slabs, but other than that, this is like the general idea for what I want the entrance to look like. So now it is time to move this over to the survival world. And so this is what it has ended up looking like in our world for now. I'm not completely sold at this path, like at all. So I'll work on this more after we have most of the other details set up. Speaking of which, it's time to place a crap ton of stairs. So we've added the stairs, and now we've got the fences in place, which means it's time to start working on putting in the windows. So yeah, that's what it does. So if you 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, yep, so we can in fact put some up here. I was a bit worried because with the gate, I didn't actually check to see if that would affect our plans any, but it doesn't. So we're gonna put in the first round of windows just on the first floor because we don't have a second floor put in yet. So kind of be awkward to put in the second floor windows. And yeah, first floor windows are now going in. So now that we have the first floor windows in, we are once again gonna hop over to a creative world and figure out what I want the interior to look like, so that we can get to work on like the second floor and all that kind of stuff. And this is the block palette that I have decided on for the inside. So beehives for the floor and stripped birch wood for the walls, at least for now. Could completely change this later down the road, but it's what we're going with for now. So now I've got to remember how to craft beehives and run the tree farm a lot, because we'll need a lot of birch logs. So it's come to my attention that in order to make beehives, I need honeycomb. And in order to get honeycomb, I need a bee farm. So we need to make a bee farm. So the first thing that we're going to do is do the little flower trick with the saplings to try and get some bees. And then after that, we are going to make a bee farm. Maybe I should set up... Okay, we're gonna set up the basis for the bee farm before we actually get the bees. That makes sense, right? That should make sense. So this is the setup for the bee farm. We have the hoppers leading into this chest, and then the beehives will go on top of the hoppers. We have the observers, and then after the observers, there's two different like modules, so that they only activate their respective dispensers instead of activating all of them. So one of the modules is observer, repeater, block, redstone, block, repeater, and the other one is an observer, block, redstone on top of the block, repeater. So that's that, and now we have to make it look good, and then I will put in the bees and everything should be good. Actually, I haven't put the shears into the dispensers yet. Everything will not be good. I've gotta do that, and then I've gotta make it look good. Then I've gotta get the bees. Plan. And this is the design that I ended up using for the bee farm. I originally was going to use pink glass, but then I decided that yellow would look better. So now we have a bunch of pink stained glass over in our storage system. But now it is time to actually get the beehives in, which I'm not exactly looking forward to, so I'm gonna do that, and then we will get the birch, and then we'll see how much honeycomb we've gotten after that. And we now have bees in the bee farm, although as a result of that, we do have a bit of a oak forest over here. I can actually, yeah. See, we have a bit of a forest over here now. Doesn't look that bad though, so I'm not complaining. And so, after a bit of AFKing and a bit of building, this is what we have got, on the outside at least. I put in a door. Originally, I was going to have it be just an open arch with some yellow carpet and berry bushes underneath to keep out the mobs, but that didn't end up looking how I wanted it to, so this is what we've got now. And if we go in, you will see I have, in fact, put in the walls and floor for the lower floor. So now I've got to figure out what I want the floor to be made out of for the upper floor. That is a bit of a tongue twister. So I think I want to use cut stone bricks, so I'm gonna see how that looks, and then if I like that, we'll put in the upper windows. And I do actually like how the cut stone looks, even if we look at it from below, so that's that. I don't know what I want the walls up there to be yet, so we're just leaving it as is, and either way, it is now time to put in the upper windows. So, as you can see, I have in fact done the outside windows for the most part. I haven't put in the fences yet, because I think that it would be easier to put up the walls and then put in the fence, instead of putting in filler blocks to put in the fence. Hopefully that made sense. So, it is time to hop over to a creative world again to get an idea of what the frick I want the walls to be. So, I've been playing around with a couple options here. Rain, die? Thank you. Okay, so I've been playing around with a couple options here, and honestly, I think just bringing the birch up would be the best option. Like, I don't like that it's the best option, but it probably is. So, yeah, we are going to just be bringing the birch up. That's nothing exciting. Just bringing the birch up. So I may have done quite a few things other than just bringing up the birch since the last clip. Obviously I brought up the birch, I put in the fences, and I also put on the roof. And then I also made a staircase from the bottom floor to the top of the floor. And overall, I honestly don't hate it. I'm still not entirely sure what to do with the path up front here, so this is still gonna stay there. Once again, I am planning on changing it. Looks better without the helmet, which doesn't really matter. At one point, though, the villagers that were in the iron farm kind of just went missing. So the iron farm is, once again, broken for now, but whatever. I also have, maybe sort of come up with an idea to make this a little bit better. I'm gonna have to test it in a, creative world, because I want to accidentally break this, because it would be a pain to fix, so that's something, if it works, you probably won't see until next episode. Speaking of next episode, while I was harvesting the birch I needed for the upper floor, I ran out of bone meal, so I ended up fixing up the mob farm over at our starter base. But it's not the most effective thing for getting bone meal in the world, obviously, so I think next episode will also end up making a moss farm. But this is not the next episode yet, so we are going to work on the interior. And as far as the interior goes, I believe that I want to make the little jut-off area auto brewer thingamajig. That's a thing that exists. So we're gonna put like a little brewing setup in here, and as far as everything else goes, I'm not sure. I do want to put in a bit more of a refined storage system in here, just for more, like, important things, I guess. Or things that I don't want to have to dig through chests to find. So that'll be a thing, but we're just gonna start with the brewing setup. I then proceeded to not record for a couple weeks because I got sick, and then I had to catch up on school, then I got sick again, and then there were the holidays, and then I got a new computer, and a lot of stuff happened. So, oops. Oh yeah, this also means that my mic is gonna sound weird until I figure out settings again. So, oops again. And so I have made a little brewing stand area. It's not automatic or anything, well, I suppose the collection of the potions is, but, I couldn't do it and still have it look good, so whatever. And then, we have a water source back here that isn't cauldrons, because those aren't an infinite water source, and I'm too lazy to fill those up. We have, nether wart everywhere, you know, that's important. And then we have our storage for our supplies and stuff. It's not full or anything like that, but I guess over time it'll get better. And then, in addition to that, I also made this little kitchen area. I'm not entirely sure that I like it as is, so this might be updated, but that's here now. And then, as far as the rest of this space goes. I think I want to put like a little dining room-ish area over here, and then over here I'm gonna put kind of like a sitting area sort of thing. So that's the plans for here, which I am now going to do, and then we'll figure out what the heck we want to do with the upstairs. And so we now have the first floor completely done, so if we go through here, voila! Over here I did add in a lighting strip, just for lighting, who would have thought? As far as the dining room goes, there's some glowstone behind here for lighting, and then, these are supposed to be placemats. I don't know if they actually look like placemats, but that's what we got. And then, of course, we have plants. You cannot have a house without plants. We have this chorus fruit here. Once it grows, I think that will look pretty neat. More plant. We have some glowstone under here for lighting. And then we have these lanterns here for lighting. And then I had to fix up that little portal to the outer islands of the end so that we wouldn't just be falling into the void to get the chorus fruit for the end rods. But that took a while. Lost a set of armor. It was not fun, but that happened, and so we are now heading up to the upper level to figure out what the frick we want to do up here. And as far as up here goes, I think I want to have a little nook over there for like a little bedroom-esque area. I want to make maybe like a little like reading nook. And then I also want to make a little area for the jukebox and CDs and whatnot. So yeah, that's the vague plan that we have so far. No idea if we're actually going to follow through with it, but I'm gonna get started. I did actually end up sticking to the plan, which is kind of a surprise. So, bed nook. All of this should be picked up. Ignore that. Right, so, bed nook. You know, we got plants, we got lanterns, we got a cute little overhang thing. We have like an extension of the fireplace downstairs for like, I don't know, reality or whatever you want to call it. We have our whatchamacallit music box over here. And then over here we have our book nook. And then we have a bunch of storage for stuff that I don't want to go into the mass storage. And then behind the paintings, there's glowstone per usual. We got this little chandelier thing. And we have this guy. And then behind there's also some lighting. So, I also added a couple changes downstairs in the meantime. We now have these cocoa beans on the stairwell for no particular reason other than I felt like it. And then the chorus plant grew. So that is now how it's gonna look forever. And we built a house! Who would have thought? Now, I know that I mentioned that, like, you know, we'd add a balcony and a garden, but that's not gonna happen this episode. So, if you want to see those and, you know, all the other stuff that I mentioned we'd be doing next episode, not last episode, subscribe, you know, do the notification thing. Do it.